What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well and having a great weekend so far. It is time now for the Saturday edition of the Climate Update for Saturday, January 27th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, this is where we do a daily weather update and climate update for weather that's going on around the world, and plus we do the weather forecast for the United States. So if you like this type of content, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. First off today, we have to talk about what is going on up in Alaska. Remember, Juneau, Alaska had several feet of snow this month, came close to breaking a record with the month not being over for the amount of snowfall. Well, on top of all that snowfall, now they have to concern themselves with flooding, avalanches, and even higher snow after the record amounts of snow that they have already had. It says here, arrival of heavy rains means risk for structures, boats, and avalanches even higher after record snow, up to 2 inches of precipitation a day forecast through Monday. Yeah, that's not good. So some roads are going to be closing, and that's on top of all the snow you already have. So yes, this could really lead to some problems. And let's take a look at the GFS model. And you can see here on the GFS, you can see here is the Northwest. Here is Western Canada. Here's Alaska up here. And taking a look at this, here comes one system that's going to come in on Sunday evening. It's going to provide some snow for the higher elevations, but it's also going to provide some rainfall for the coastal regions. And look at this, pretty much a parade of storms through about Thursday. Then it gets quiet for a little bit, and in the long range, yes, there could be potential for more storms. So yes, this is very concerning for you. I'm concerned about avalanches, maybe even a flooding threat as well. Taking a look at the rest of the lower 48, you can see we see something we have not seen in quite some time. Remember, it's just been so darn cloudy and foggy in many places. Take a look at the central U.S. Texas. Yes, we're actually being able to start to see land again on the satellite picture because this system right here is clearing things out behind it. However, it's coming with a price tag. There's a severe weather threat that's ongoing right now in the Gulf Coast region, and this storm system is going to continue to the east. It's going to provide some flooding rains to the Appalachian Mountains, and then, yes, a winter threat for the Northeast, which we have been talking about over the last several days. Taking a look at the radar picture, you can see this system continues to gather some moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. Ahead of this, there is a severe threat that is ongoing right now in Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. And then, as you can see in the Pacific Northwest, yes, yet again, more rain. Seattle, it's raining for you. Northern California, you are also in the rain today, and that is going to continue. There's going to be a parade of storm systems that come into the west. We'll take a look at that on the models in just a little bit. National Hazards Map. Flood watches are now up from D.C. down through Virginia, West Virginia, Southeast Ohio. Portions of Alabama and Georgia, they continue for you, and you can see there is now a tornado watch that is up for portions of the Florida Panhandle and portions of southwest Georgia. Let's take a look at the Weather Prediction Center and see what's going on here. You can see the rainfall that's expected on days 1 through 7, and you can see at some point there will be another system that comes into Texas. You can see the system in the northeast. That's going to provide generally an inch to an inch and a half of rain. There could be locally higher amounts of precipitation, and the heaviest rainfall is going to be across the mid-Atlantic. And look at the Pacific Northwest. We're continuing to watch the threat for flooding rains that are going to occur on the Pacific Northwest and even in California and down to Southern California. So yes, the Southwest U.S. as well. You will not be spared from this whatsoever. All right, taking a look at the current watch that is on going from the Storm Prediction Center, there is a tornado watch that is out right now. It's effective until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can see here, there is this line that is moving through in places of Florida and Georgia, and it's possible there could be a few spin-ups with this line. Take a look at the overall risk. This is the last risk that we will see for several days. After this, it is going to get quiet on the thunderstorm front, but you can see here there's 5% probabilities for a tornado. Wind is at 15% in Florida and extreme South Georgia, and hail is just a minor threat in portions of northeast Alabama, northwest Georgia, and portions of Tennessee. All right, let's take a look at the HER model, 18Z HER model, just in. And you will see here, this line will continue to push eastward. It's going to lose some of its energy later on this evening. So once you get to like around Jacksonville, Florida, it's not expected to still be severe. You may see a thunderstorm. You just won't see severe thunderstorms. Now moving this into the northeast view, we do see here that heavy rainfall will make its way into Pennsylvania. And look at the Delmarva. The HER model is trying to center the heaviest rainfall a bit more southeast. Not certain I agree with that. I do think it will go up the I-95 corridor to some degree. And also something we take note on the HER model. Look at this. If you're in North Jersey, the HER is trying to say, hey, you may change over to snow while the secondary low gets going. Not all models are showing this. It really is on its own. And take a look at this. It does even change to sleet. And continuing here, you can see snow. Rain snow line goes northwest of Boston on the HER. The HER sometimes is too warm with these events, but it's something we'll have to watch. And then as you get into tomorrow night, it does collapse. And of course, you do go over to snow. But again, we're not expecting a ton of snow in the Boston area. And let's take a look at the National Weather Service forecast for snow. First, we'll start off with the Albany area. And you can see in Albany, 2 to 3 inches just southwest of Albany, like Hunter, 6 to 8 inches of snow are possible for you. Saratoga Springs, New York, 2 to 3 inches of snow. And you can see here, as you go down further south, like Poughkeepsie, just an inch of snow. But then when we take a look at the western Massachusetts, Pittsfield, 4 inches of snow expected for you. Otis, maybe up to 6 to 8 inches of snow. Bennington, Vermont, we're taking a look here, 2 to 3 inches of snow. Brattleboro, Vermont, maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow for you. Then we go over to the Boston forecast. This is from the Boston National Weather Service. And you can see, again, they are in agreement with western Massachusetts being the highest in the Berkshires. And take a look at this. Central Massachusetts, just northwest of the Finchburg area, or maybe in the Finchburg area. They're going with an 8 to 12 inch snowfall amount. And unfortunately for Boston, this is not going to be a big storm for you. 1 to 2 inches of snow. That rain snow line, it's going to be wavering back and forth. You're going to start off as rain, then the rain snow line comes into play, then eventually at the end of the storm, it's going to come southeast. But at that point, I think it's going to be too late to be a significant snowfall event for you. And along I-95 corridor in Connecticut, you're not looking at a lot of snow unless you get north of Interstate 84, where you could see 2 to 4, maybe even 4 to 6 inches of snow. Hartford, you're not looking at a lot of snow. Generally, an inch or less of snow for you. Your snow will generally be on the backside of this storm system. All right, continuing on now with the Canadian model. We're going to take a look at the Canadian model today, and I want to take a look at the longer range. We already looked at the GFS for Alaska. Let's take a look at the Canadian model perspective now, and I want to show you the northwest and the west coast. You can see here, active conditions are going to continue well into the week. Middle of the week is really concerning. We see this strong system that comes into California. It's going to have heavy rainfall. It also would not surprise me if there was a marginal risk of severe weather with this. Maybe a spin-up, a tornado spin-up. It's something we're going to have to watch. And eventually this is going to come into Southern California on Thursday. And even at that, you're not going to clear out. It's going to remain relatively unsettled. May even be some snow showers at the lower elevations. You're talking some really cold air that is going to come into this area. And in the long range, eventually that energy does come east. And there still remains questions what's going to happen into the northeast. I don't think it's going to be completely unsettled, but it's not going to be completely clear. There's going to be pieces of energy out of Canada. It's going to make cloudy conditions, showers, snow showers, I think are going to be a theme at the end of next week into the following week, and it's something we have to watch. And then, of course, when we take a look at the European, I have to show this to you. Yes, the European, at the end of its run, is trying to show, wait a second, maybe some of this energy will phase in, and it develops a storm system off the East Coast. Way too soon, and it's the Euro. Yes, I say it's the Euro because this day and age, the Euro is not as accurate as it used to be in the mid-range, say 10 years ago. So I guarantee you the next run, the Euro is going to show something different. But one thing that is agreeable with on the Euro is that the West Coast is going to stay active. And look at this, at the end of the year, another system coming into there. It wouldn't surprise me if By the end of next week and into the following week, we're already talking about another system for the West Coast. It's going to remain that active going into February because the atmospheric river-like events will continue. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the temperature outlooks. This should just be coming in. Yep, it did. It's just coming in, brand new as we are recording this video. Well below average temperatures in the 6 to 10 day outlook. You just saw it on the Canadian. There's going to be cold air that sets in there with this unsettled pattern. Even lower elevations could see some snow showers at the end of next week. Above average temperatures for the mid sections of the country, and you can see not as much above anymore. Still above in the northeast, but not as much because we're introducing those pieces of energy that come in from the Canada. All right, refreshing here with the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, well above average for the West Coast and portions of the central region. Yes, I think we'll see some more drought relief into the central region, below average precipitation in the Northeast and slightly below average in the Pacific Northwest. I think we're going to transition in the 6 to 10 day period where we see more systems affect southern portions of the West rather than the Pacific Northwest. And taking a look at what's going on with 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, below average temperatures will continue in California, above average in the central region, slightly below average in Florida, with generally quiet weather expected for you. You can see here, when we go to 8 to 14 day precipitation, just a slightly above average. It's not going to be a huge deal, but you will have a few events in the 8 to 14 day range for precipitation. Slightly below average in the Northeast, but again, at any given time, that could change with all these pieces of energy. If two of them decide to phase, suddenly you're talking a storm system in the Northeast. And yes, above average precipitation continues in the southwest region of the U.S. That you wave train of storm systems. I think it's going to happen in the mid to longer range in the West Coast, and slightly above average will continue up in portions of Alaska, though Southeast Alaska will finally get a little bit quieter and you'll see below average precipitation. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's climate update. We'll have another climate update again tomorrow. If you enjoyed this content, by all means, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and check out my Twitter-X page, Climate Data Report. It's RPT in the handle. I'll see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, have a fantastic afternoon, and thanks for watching.